The actual fuck. That's crazy.
Take it easy to start with, the track's very wet.
My game is very loud. Jesus.
Radar suggests that this heavy rain will be with us for a while now. It's hard to say if inters or wets are better right now.
Holy understeer, man.
turned, we've dropped to P12. Okay, I'm afraid we've been pushed down to P16. Forecasts suggest the rain's going to be lightening up over the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. You should start finding more grip as we clear the standing water. They're sitting in 7th. Right, their best lap time, 1 minute 28.4. We've been pushed down to P19, I'm afraid. Okay, that's P19, P19.
Let me take a look at the race director. I bet they're on... Yep, enters. It's close at the top. Fastest lap's been set on wets. Let me stop making weird noises. Oh man. For those watching, if it's not clear, I plan on starting from the back. I hope the race is dry though, because if not, it'll be a long one. And I'm on a bit of a time crunch, so that would be far from ideal, to say the least.
The rain looks like it's going to be getting much lighter over the next 10 to 15 minutes. There should be more grip, but don't expect a dry track yet. Okay, that's all the checks complete. We're ready to go.
It's a Ferrari and an Alpine coming. I'll let the Ferrari by. Slobber behind him.
Inters and wets will probably have very similar pace at the moment. We've dropped to P20.
little bit. Alright, let's see what sort of lap time I can do. Well, how much I can improve by it, since I want to be finishing the lap. There we go. Just trying to invalidate it. Yeet. Oh no, he spun. I was up by what, 2-something seconds? Or I didn't even remember. I have terrible memory. If you can't tell. It wasn't a good lap at all, but it's about 3 seconds. So it would have been up there. Because I did it 29.8. So 3.8 seconds. So Robin's out, and Greg is out, Chenzo's out, Spinny's out, and Curry's out. Interesting. And then Shry topping Q1.
And still, we have about 5 or 6 full-time guys. I'm not messing with this guy. Kick your heart out, full air, or let's go. And Shenzo, Penty, again, this is full qualified, Thomas qualified session. And yeah, so here comes the Spain GP. Next week we'll get it popping for the Lightning Cup round 1 at Australia. I can't wait. It's good to have the Lightning Cup back, folks. Can't lie. Some of these drivers going on the
to Jordan, then you'd expect. It looks really wet. I don't know if it's in this, man. Because people were pushing really quick times on the wets, and a lot of. I'm glad it is because it's a full quality. Because it makes it more entertaining for the spectators and the people. Other than that, the drivers need to really know what setup they're going to get it down, and this is not the start of it. I mean, wet. Coming in first corner brakes, you can hear it. It might be in us because you can hear the tyres squeak a bit, so there is a bit of grip there. And don't forget, full quality does mean that race line is still there. Look at that, drifting it round there, losing the back end a little bit, just correcting a tiny bit, not trying to lose too much time. Slowing fast out, I've noticed with this game. I mean, I ain't got any quicker, but I have noticed if you get a better exit, it does benefit you. It really does. So just bear in mind that when you're sending your car into another car's side. Probably must have been on coming round. Not too much sprint. I know it's LC, but they're not really talking, so. Can be Tom starting from the back in Lightning Cup pre-season just to test himself. Take it away, B Tom. I mean, Wingus were 125, but the track is evolving, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I think Q1 to Q3 is supposed to be wet. And generally throughout each session, the dry line starts to form, so the track gradually improves throughout the session. But at the start of every new one, it sort of resets a bit. So you'll see people going out gradually improving pretty much up until the very end of the session.
Just improved like a lot, by the way.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
So
I have noticed a lot of the teams actually trying to work together. But what's your thoughts on Chenzo and Greg Jennings going out in Q? Did they do that on purpose as well? Is that a strategy?
I don't think so. I couldn't tell if they put on the inters or not at the end of the session. They
had the inters.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it looked too wet for me at the end of that.
Yeah, I really don't think there was much in it between the inters and the wets at the end of the session. So it could just be that they didn't quite hook it up. But driving in the wet on this game's a lot trickier than it was on last year's game. So I'm not surprised to see some of the usual suspects to get caught out.
Yeah, but you get used to the game yourself. Like, I mean, after a few months of doing this, you won't have raced many wet races yourself. I mean, probably more than most, but...
Yeah, and looks like Froggy's out of the session. He might have crashed some pit entry.
Oh, yeah, I think he has, yeah. Good stuff. T-Bone's up and down, apparently.
What's up, B-Tom?
There you go.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I figured I might as well. Plus, I'd be super bored just watching these cars go around.
Oh, it's good, bro. It's good, because I'm under the weather, too.
Yeah. But...
Oh, he's trolling.
You guys call the action. I'll stick with you on the cameras, okay?
Yeah. I guess we can ride on board Konami since he's starting a lap. About to go into turn 1 now. Braking around the 100-meter board. Down to third gear, interestingly. Takes a lot of entry curb into turn 1. Bit in turn 2 as well. And then through turn 3, it's just a matter of fighting the car as you try and put the power down
as
quickly as possible. And yeah, you can see in these conditions, you can actually use the throttle to rotate the car. So sometimes you have to be aggressive and sort of hustle it around. But the turn 4...
Wingus just pushed the fast lap.
Yeah, looks a lot more straightforward. And then into turn 5, it's very easy to outbrake yourself because it's downhill. But he hooks it up quite nicely and gets a good exit. And through turn, I believe, 7 and 8. Again, another corner where it's easy to go a bit deep and that'll compromise your exit. And through turn 9, a bit tricky. You want to try and hook up the inside curb just because it rotates the car better in these conditions. And then blasting the ERS, going down to turn 10, braking at the 100-meter board once again. He picks up an early apex down in third gear, and then it's just fighting the car a little bit as you try and put the power down. Then into turn 12, tries to hug the inside, and then again, it's the sliding the car a bit on the exit, but it's just the way you have to drive to be quick in these conditions. And then through the final corner, relatively straightforward, just one downshift, and then use whatever ERS you've got left. And yeah, it goes quickest. So yeah, you'll see that happen pretty much up until the very end of the session because the track's constantly getting faster.
Yep, indeed, but you can lose it that little bit, and once the car goes sideways that little bit too much and you don't control it immediately, that's where the time goes, right?
Honestly, you can get pretty far sideways in the wet on this game and still be quick.
Not everybody.
You'll see some of the guys towards the top of the session.
McT's about to cross the line now, though. What does he push? Up in 4th position, nearly pushing the 124s. So, that, yeah, like you said, the track does evolve.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, fantastic.
based on what I've
He's got
seen
outlaps.
on this game, I would say Konami, Jordan, and Shry are the people to look out for in these conditions because, well, Konami's always been super quick in the wet. Jordan's taken a pretty big step forward on this game in those conditions, and then Shry also seems to be really quick in these conditions.
It seems that Jordan's slowing down a lot, unless he's not. He's going to start his lap now, and the McLarens are going to both go together again. One
He's
following the other.
he's
No,
boxing.
going in the box
He's
for
not
the
got
other.
enough fuel.
What about Jerome? Jerome about to start his lap right now? Yep.
Yep.
Coming round. Talking through it again, Beaton. That was fantastic, bro.
Yeah.
Go on.
So going into turn one, since it's wet, you don't really burn as much ERS. You can hold the overtake for quite a bit of time as you run down to turn one. And then braking again at the 100-meter board. He doesn't take as much curb as Konami does, and he's also one gear higher. So Konami taking in third, Jerome opting to go into fourth. And then through turn three, it looks much more settled than Konami. But looking at his sector one split, he's only up by 2.5 tenths. So we need to find quite a bit of time.
That's fine. And Justin Strides just pushed a purple sector one behind him on his lap, so that wants to keep an eye on. But you keep going, bro.
But yeah, Jerome just doesn't seem to be wrestling the car quite as much, which normally is a good thing, especially in dry conditions. But in the wet, you almost kind of have to in order to be quick. So he's going through turn 9 now. Honestly, it just looks a bit pedestrian, to be honest. But let's see what the sector 2 split is. So he's about 7 tenths up. So he'll probably be in MAC-T Jordan territory. But
so Justin Stride just pushed another purple, and he's put 3 tenths up on his time.
Yeah. So I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he tops the session. But yeah,
probably will.
Jerome going through the final 2 corners, picks up a bit of understeer through the penultimate one, and then again through the final corner, just a bit understeer it looks like. So
right,
and pretty much like I said, around that Jordan MAC-T territory, and try again half a second clear of Konami. So
that's insane. So just keep an eye on the ones that you know that are going to be quicker, bro, on the laps. I mean, that's insane stuff from these boys. And that's quite a lap.
One person I do want to look at is Robin, because he barely scraped through Q1.
Go for it. He's just starting his lap now.
And he's exactly going into turn 1. So he uses third gear just like Konami, and then takes quite a bit of curb in turn 2. Doesn't seem to be.
It's not how you accelerate up here, though. If you don't lose the car too much, you get the power really.
He's not really wrestling the car in turn 3. So it seems like different drivers have different approaches, but yeah, so far it looks quite smooth. He's about 3.5 tenths up. Turned in, on the brake slightly too early and turned in too early. Yeah.
Even the best can mess it up. See that?
So probably just got caught out by how much grip he had going through there. But if he really wanted to, he has time to abort this lap and go again, because the track's only going to get faster.
Would you, if you noticed you turned in too early, would you actually abort at this point and do another?
I probably would, because I know the track is constantly improving. But yeah, and then again in turn 10, just brakes slightly too early and picks up the curbing on the inside. So I would probably abort this lap and go again, just to be safe. It does put you under some pressure for your last run, but
though. He just needs to get in.
Yeah.
If he can. I mean, he's got quite a bit of battery though, so he's going to go again. Hopefully, he's got the fuel to do it. So staying on board with Robin, since you was interested, but he's up. He's up anyway. I don't think.
I think he'll be safe. So it's guys like Tom,
Mike
Hooligans,
push in as well.
My teammate Emerge, who's on his final run. Roston, especially Goatley, who have quite a bit of time to find.
Last sector now. Roston's coming round the last corner. In the Ferrari. See what he can do. Gets himself in 10.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to stick.
Yeah. Wing is pushing a pole up there. Nearly pushing it to the 123s. Nearly. Damn, that's why you said yourself, Beaton, it can be wise to back out. Track's evolving all the time.
So Tom is currently up on his lap by about 3 tenths. So
guys,
go ahead.
I just got to give a shout out to Wingish here, man, putting it all together. He told me he was practicing up to 8 hours before this race today, looking to prove a point and to help build his name back up. Shout out to Wingish.
Yeah.
Is that because I... yeah, shout out to Wings indeed.
All will be revealed in Q3.
I mean, if you want to go
we'll
look
see how
at
the race
Wings
goes
driving
as well.
yesterday, you want to go check my YouTube out.
No, I heard
Is that
Wingish
what-
quit drinking, so
No,
Oh,
he
good for
did
him.
not.
I heard
If he
wrong.
did.
I'll tell you what about. No, whatever.
Looks like Jordan's
Hooligans
also on the
puts
bubble.
himself sixth position
Oh,
there
Max,
with
wait.
124
Yeah, quite a few drivers are under pressure now. So Mac T, Jordan, Rasta. Jordan's going to be the first to cross the line.
Mac T's gonna be out.
And Jordan's out in Q. Yeah, Jordan's out. Goatley's out.
The Ferraris.
Mac T's out.
Yeah. They're out.
And
Both
yeah,
Ferraris
yeah,
are
both
out.
Ferraris knocked out. And Jordan knocked out.
Michael
And
doesn't even need to do this lap, but it's proving a point
Wingish
right now.
went faster, again.
Michael in third, proving a point. The track does evolve.
yeah, that's like you have to be out at the last minute to get in that lap when the track's at its best.
And
'Cause otherwise
this
you're
is
gonna be
why
under
we do
pressure.
this. Yeah,
Mac
but
T
Big Tom,
is,
this is why we do this, and this is why you should be like. I'm glad you joined the comms booth just to give you experiences. Like you would have backed out of that lap, the track would have evolved better anyway, and you know
Yeah.
that you could have been a hell of a lot
So-
quicker. So it is informational for the viewers at home and the drivers if they're actually watching for the next part of quali.
Yeah. So Robin's somewhat fortunate in the fact that the grid's kind of spread out in wet conditions just because the skill gap is a bit greater. So I think if you were within 1.5 seconds of P1, you were still safe. But again, part of that's down to the fact that some people didn't get in their runs at the very last minute when the track was at its best.
Right, do you want to give the rundown, bro? Top 10 now?
Oh, yeah, sure. So top in Q2 was Wingish, followed by Justin Schrei. Very close between those two, just 24 thousandths. Then Moikuli, Tom, Limitless Draco, Konami, P6, Robin, Emerge, Hooligans, and Jerome scraping through by just over 1/10 of a second. So very close from about P7, well, no. Yeah, P7 down. But
do you
seems
think
like
there's
the
any
top
strategy
three are-
involvement? You know, like with the drivers we've lost, like Mac T, do you think
Mm-hmm.
people are trying to save tyres? I mean, you're in the race, bro. So
Yeah.
what's the? I mean, people might be indecisive on what tyres they want to waste and use, and
the race
you know.
should be dry, so you can just burn up as many sets
Oh!
of enters and wets as you want.
look at this, raining.
But I'm just gonna put in my prediction for pole now and say it's gonna be Schrei. I'm gonna say
I
Schrei,
reckon-
Konami, Wingish top three.
I don't know. I reckon people have been sneaky. I reckon Emerge KDs might do well. I know Shrai's going to do really well.
Yeah,
And normally Tom would be really up there, but obviously with his injuries he might be struggling a bit. But that last lap, and also it depends on the fuel and when they actually get the car on track. Because if it dries up and it evolves like it did the last qualifying session, the guy that crosses on the last lap, if no one hinders him and they get a perfect lap in, they're going to probably pip someone.
Yeah.
Like move way further up. So we'll see.
Yeah,
This
for sure.
is why we show up though. This is so entertaining. And
you want to be
who
the
knows?
last guy to cross the line, and you want to get in as many laps as possible, just so you can get a feel for the track as it starts to improve. Because you saw with Robin, he made some mistakes, and that's
Yep.
more often if you make a mistake like that, it's just because you don't have a close enough reference to where the track is now.
That's the one. So even though they're going out now, they're probably just. I mean, your outlap at the moment is just to get the turning points properly, so you know the grip of the car. And I mean, one turning early can cost you a lot of time. So all these drivers, like, they have to think about this stuff. It's going through the mind constantly.
Yeah.
And it's one of them, innit? And I cannot wait, bro. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
The race is going to be insane. The first
So-
corner's going to be mental.
The two main things you really want to avoid is just outbraking yourself, because as you can see, there's a bit of a dry line on the track, and if you go off that, there's pretty much no grip.
Yep.
If you do get parked up on the apex, it just means you could have carried a bit more speed in. But at the same time, it's not really the end of the world if you do that. So if you have the ladder in terms of mistakes, it's not as bad as if you have the or if you have the if you have the ladder, it's not as bad as if you have the former.
With either. Big Tom?
Yeah,
take him
yeah.
away. Your
So-
favourite for pole position right now coming into the first corner?
Yeah, so going into turn one doesn't use really any of the entry curb in turn 1, but keeps it in 4th gear. So far so good, looks quite smooth. Konami by comparison was wrestling the car quite a bit through here, but the track's obviously moved on a lot since we were on board with him, and so far looks clean. Bit wide of the apex in turn 4, but if he gets a good exit, it shouldn't matter too much, and it seems like he does. Then into turn 5, just making sure you don't break yourself. Hooks up the apex quite nicely, and gets a pretty good exit as well, so it's looking like a solid opening lap from him. Then into turn 7, again a bit wide of the apex, but gets a good exit, and obviously the exit in these conditions is far more important than corner entry. So looked pretty committed through turn 9, then into turn 10, braking around the 100-meter board, down to 3rd gear, picks up a very early apex. A couple drivers prefer a bit later, some go in a bit earlier. Justin goes in a bit early on this occasion, and then same in turn 12, actually picked up the apex curb a bit late in the corner, which would have cost him some time on exit, but did the penultimate corner and the final one. Penultimate one looked quite good, and then a bit of understeer through the final corner, but
nice lap.
it's a good benchmark.
Robin R's down anyway, I know that, because he messed up on one of the corners, so that's fine. I'm on board with Winglish now, coming round in the cash app, see what he's got. It also looks wetter on some parts of the track than it was before. So,
yeah.
But there you go, Wingish. Pushing a 123.3.
It's interesting because he went up a gear, then down a gear, then back up a gear through the final corner. So, I don't know, maybe he went up to just have a bit more stability, and then down a gear to keep the revs up and get a bit more power out of the engine. But it's hard to say for sure.
That's right. There is some time to be gained coming around this track. I can see it. And I'm on board with TTV Konami and see what he's got around this sector. I don't know if he's on. Is he on?
Yeah, he's on the lap.
Looks like it. He needs to get like a 157 at the end of the straight and under to be even near Justin.
So it's a 58. Oh,
so he's
yeah.
down. He's down. So it's not a 57. It's a, yeah. So that's going to be down on his time.
Yeah,
I've got Jerome in the McLaren about to start his lap, bro. Do you want to talk us around again?
Yeah,
It's pretty simple. This is the thing with full quality. You just gotta. Come on, you're good at it anyway, bro. I love listening to this stuff.
So I've noticed quite a few drivers aren't using the full deployment allowance for the lap, so there's probably free lap time on the table right there. As Konami puts up the fastest time, so.
How's he done that? Yo, so
probably
he
had a
can
mighty
gain
final
a hell
sector.
of a lot of time. I was gonna say, but
yeah,
I know he was.
And every driver at this point is making
improve.
small mistakes here and there just because they don't really know exactly where the track is right now.
Yeah.
So, in dry quality it's quite easy because it's usually pretty constant, but in wet quality it's changing all the time.
Yeah.
But so far it looks quite clean for Jerome as McCooley goes to the top. Jerome goes a bit wide in turn 7. It's probably the trickiest corner on the lap in the wet. And then through turn 9, looks pretty committed. Picked up the entry apex and used a bit of the curb on exit. So he's definitely committed in the lap.
But it's his first lap, so we'll say that, because I know he's got to beat a 57 round there.
Yeah, and he's interestingly carrying 4th gear through turn 12. So the car's quite low in the rev range, which can help with getting good traction, but at the same time the car can bog down slightly. But we'll see what the lap will be as he starts to cross the line. It's 23.5, so yeah. And Shry pops up a 22.5. So
here we go. So
Jerome,
some people noticing this
with
now.
Basically the same track conditions as second down and Shry.
So Merge Katie is going to come round now. Looks like he's
He's
going in the pit, never mind. And who else you got on a lap? Is Robin R started one? I think he's on it. No, he's not. He's down. So never mind.
I think Konami's on a lap. Looks like he's pushing through turn 3. And at the end of the sector, he is a 10th and a bit up. So I think he'll be the next guy to pump in a good time. Going into turn 5, hooks up the apex quite nicely. Car getting a bit loose on the exit, but getting a wheel spin in these conditions, on this game at least, isn't the end of the world. And then to turn 9, probably took too much curb on the apex. But he's up by... Oof. Rear locking in turn 10, but he's up by 2 and a bit tenths. So he could still go provisional pole. Then through turn 12...
Oh.
He's backed out.
Robin's just invalidated. I think he was going down the pits there. And
Yeah, I think Konami will pit as well. Yeah, it makes sense.
So it makes sense because the track. Look at the track now.
Yeah,
And
not
look at
only
the
that,
sky,
but
bro.
had he stayed out, he would have done his and that with no fuel in the car. So it would have taken him ages to get back.
Yep. So we'll keep an eye on Elise first, because like we said before, B-Tom, you've got to think if you cross the line last and you don't get any like disturbance and you get a lap down, it's going to be a hell of a lot quicker than everyone else.
I think
isn't
everyone will be trying to be that last guy to cross the line.
it? Which makes it even more entertaining.
Yeah, and it looks like Draco's a bit out of sync with everyone else as he's on his outlap.
Yeah, that's
so, and he's yet to set a time, so he's kind of has to get one up on the board.
Hopefully he's got enough fuel in to put in another lap after, and he just gets a banker and then actually throws it in, because the track will evolve.
Yeah,
it might be better doing that, right?
Yeah, he'll have the fuel and he'll have the closest reference in terms of
so
where the track
to do
is.
Like a lap, and then throw in a good one, hopefully.
Yeah, but there's also a bit of pressure because you don't have a time on the board.
Yeah,
so
you are right. You are right. I mean, if the race is dry, then all these inters they've used is absolutely fine. But if it actually comes to inters, a lot of the drivers that actually didn't qualify and like through Q1, that's gonna benefit them if they need their inters. And
so everyone should have at least one fresh set going into the race if it is wet, which it shouldn't be. But if you need to make multiple stops, and those who got knocked out earlier will have an advantage, provided they haven't used their other sets.
But it's an interesting one. I mean, it is what it is, but cannot wait. And we've only got a few minutes before this quali's over.
Yeah, and
Draco coming around though in the Alpine.
Yeah, his sector splits aren't competitive, so I don't think he'll be in contention for pole.
I reckon he's doing a proper lap this one though, don't you?
Yeah, he's definitely on a lap, but this one won't be good enough to get up.
Yeah,
probably in the top 5, really.
He could probably still get round though. I don't know how much fuel he's put in the car. If he can chill out a bit and still get round.
he's popped up to P9.
It looks like he's going though. He's going, isn't he?
Yeah. He'll have time to get in another. No. He just finished it.
All right. Okay.
So he'll recharge his battery and go again.
Fair enough. Who's going to be the first over the line then? The McLaren?
I think it's going to be Robin. Nope.
It's Jerome. In the McLaren, Jerome.
Yeah.
Into the first corner. Track has. Oh, he's backed out of that one.
He's going to go. Yeah, I think he's trying to get a lap in at the very last minute.
Like we were saying, right?
I want to ride on board try.
Well,
because so far he looks like he's had the advantage over everyone. So every time someone pops up to the top spot, he just comes in a couple seconds later and just snatches it. So
Draco,
he's looked really strong in these conditions.
Alpine, he's up by 1/10, which will move him up. I don't know if it's enough. So we'll see as the Alpine comes around, because Justin isn't actually on his lap yet.
Yeah.
So as Limitless Draco comes around the last sector, what's he got? Moves him up to 5th, 123.3.
If he's got enough battery, he can go again. But yeah, riding on board Justin now for his final run in Q3.
Good stuff.
Going into turn 1, down to 4th gear, using the apex curves in turn 1 and turn 2. And then to turn 3, just fighting to put the power down, but looked fairly straightforward, so it should be a good sector split. But he's down by a 10th, so he's got some time to find, because others are quite close behind him, just on their earlier laps. Yeah, and it's looking a bit scrappy so far. He did a bit of a Robin, just braked slightly too early, got hooked on the apex curb at turn 5, and then through turn 7, a bit deep. So he wouldn't have had the best exit. I think he'll be down on his lap.
Wingis is up by 1,000.
Yeah, so maybe the track has sort of leveled out. Yeah, Shirai's not going to improve. He's 4 tenths down. So we'll ride on board Wingish.
Wingis, I'm on. Yeah, cash.
Yeah. Oh, and he's gotten wide over the curb.
That's
Just
done.
got
That's done. No,
yeah,
he's lost
got greedy.
all that. He's lost it all.
So
So
McCooley a
next
bit
up-
behind him. He could still snatch it. Don't know what his sector split is, but we'll see soon.
Justin voted. I think he thought he could beat that.
Yeah,
well,
no,
'cause
he
carried
wasn't.
on.
So McCooley's a 10th up, and Konami's a 10th up as well. So both have quite a bit of time to be able to snatch the pole from Try, but it's not it's not impossible. A lot can happen in Sector 3.
Ooh,
Konami's made a mistake.
Konami sends it sideways.
And McCooley to the line.
Damn.
Oh, 18 thousandths.
Ooh, but look at the two Wingish and Moikuli coming into the Lightning Cup. Ah, man, that's
Yeah,
gonna be nice.
Konami's
And I bet
aborted
they're
his lap,
talking-
and Robin's not going to improve. She's on his end lap.
That's the one.
So yeah, that's
so
going to
the
be
track is what it is.
yeah. Stry on pole. Very tight margins between him and Wingish, and then Moikuli very closely behind those two. So, and Tom, shout out to him. I mean, getting P4 despite the injuries he's gotten recently. So, I'd say that's a
Right.
great performance from him.
That without a doubt. Robin, I retired. Yeah, fair enough. Right, B-Tom, are you staying in the booth and enjoying the race with us as comms? Because T-Bone's not actually well, apparently.
Yeah,
And he better actually listen and move the camera around. Because I think he's been staring at an Alpine or something for a while now. I'm not sure. 'Cause I have got the stream up.
I'll tell you guys what the conditions are for the race if there's wet weather, and talk about strategy a bit. But outside of that, I'm just gonna focus on my race. So the dirty
That's
air here
absolutely fine.
is quite strong. So
stuff.
if you're not focused, it's very easy to understeer off.
So, Justin Try takes Paul Wingish and Mike Cooler. Look at them. Tom, Konami, Jerome. And to be honest, if it's not dry at the start of this race, it's going to be a really, really interesting. So,
Yeah.
one to watch. But
For sure.
Tom's going to take this little strategy away. What is it? Let's go.
So let's see. Dry race, start to finish.
Nice.
You'll probably see most people on either 2-stop and maybe some people trying the 1-stop. So,
Okay.
uh,
We'll sort your setup out then, because you might have had a wet one on.
oh no, I just ran what I have for the dry.
Sure.
But yeah, you'll see if people are on a 2-stop, they'll probably do 2 sets of mediums or 2 sets of softs. Some people
I
might
would
even
go
use 2 sets of
mediums.
hards. So
Yeah, I was going to say I'd go the harder myself, but I can't handle the car like these, so...
yeah, but yeah, it should be a good one. It's a very competitive grid. At the moment, most people have the softs on, but that'll change as we get closer to the restart. So, yeah, I'll probably still be in the party. I'll just mute everyone, and
That's absolutely fine. Join us
yeah.
whenever you want.
oh, here I'll mute myself too. Don't want you guys to hear me swearing if I get in some funny business. Let's say.
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled. We've got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. Green flag. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible. Okay, you're in the top 10. If you think you can get past, make use of the overtake button and see what you can do. Yellow flag. Okay, we've got a full course
With the
caution.
safety car out, this is a good opportunity
Keep
to
an eye on the
pit.
delta.
We'll be a bit
Need to
longer
keep
than
it
planned on the
positive
next
to avoid a
tyres, but we
penalty.
can make it work.
Slow down.
Just
Remember, we'll
maintain
probably
positive
lose track
delta.
position. Systems all looking good. Head down. Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap. Okay, recommend staying out during this safety car. Our tyres are still good and it's not worth risking the track position. Stay out. Okay, off we go, back into the race. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. All right, we'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in this strategy. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are just 1 lap old, and the time last lap, 1:55.9. Safety car in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature, and remember, there's no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags. Okay, clear. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online. Green flag. Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy. Gap to your teammate ahead, 2.0 seconds. Okay, box, box, box. We're adjusting the strategy. Come in this lap. Box, box, box. Okay, you're in the dirty air of the car in front. Let's get past them. Right, a gap to the teammate ahead of us. 3.0 seconds. Just so you know, we're getting some strange readings from a couple of the sensors, so I don't think you need to be worried, just some bad data, so keep doing what you're doing. I'll let you know if we notice any genuine problems. Okay, we're approaching the pit window. You're going to be on softs. fast, make use of the overtake button and see what you can do. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. We're going to box this lap, push hard on the in-lap. Okay, clear. Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach and make sure you don't speed. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 7.4 seconds. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 6.8 seconds. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 15.0 seconds. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 5.2 seconds. Yellow flag. Green flag. Pit now, pit now. Okay, you've got P3, P3, well done. The distance to the leader, 5.0 seconds. RB ahead of you now. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 4.4 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Haas driver behind. Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Your pit window is open, pit window currently open. All right, 6 laps to go now. And gap to the car in front, 3.9 seconds. line is dropping back by about 3/10 a lap. Well done. Caution, caution. Okay, clear. Okay, you've just started the final lap of the race. Final lap.
I think you're
Wing
throwing
has just
that
been
out
telling
there.
me. That's what Wing has just been telling me, so we gotta believe it.
You're throwing that out. No,
You don't think McCooley's 57?
No, I don't. No. Not at all.
All right, dogs,
Not
you
at
take her
all.
away. You can interview B Tom here. Shout out B Tom, and I'll get the other guys in here.
Well, while you get them in, I'll just ask B-Tom some questions and I'll let B-Tom answer the rest. So, B-Tom, I mean, pushing from the back that race, really interesting strategy. The hards at the end, but you was gaining Delta on Mike Cooley still. So, one more lap. You think you might have won if there was just one more lap?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I knew his confidence to shine through. I love it. I love the confidence, and do you know what? That's because he started from the back and he still came on the podium. So you've got to bow down and respect the guy for that one. So yeah, phenomenal race. But how was the hards feeling? Because don't forget there was a few of you doing the same strategy.
Yeah.
It worked for some. It didn't quite work out for others. But I mean, you've got to like counter being comfortable on track and actually just dealing with it and sweating your balls off about it. So.
Yeah, I mean they were a bit sketchy towards the end, just through some corners like turn 4, turn 12, turn 9. The car was just sliding around a bit, but for the most part it wasn't too bad to drive on. But yeah,
I can't wait till you ask them the same question.
that was just yeah, frustrating race to say the least. But
it was amazing. It was amazing. Honestly, everyone should go back and watch that stream back because I mean, I'm surprised I've got a voice left. But
yeah.
Congratulations to B-Tom, just as shy and Mike Cooley. But B-Tom, you're gonna ask these questions because I'm gonna get high, bro. So I'll listen if you.
I'll let T-Bone do the talking because I didn't really.
No, because he wants me to do it.
It's okay. We're good.
Yeah,
We're good.
I mean, I was stuck in the Goatley MacT Chenzo train for half the race, so.
Listen, I'll handle it. Guys, let a professional handle it here. B-Tom and I took your dogs.
I can hardly talk.
All right, we'll let a professional handle it. Hey, Chenzo, interview Shry.
Right, I'll just do it, right? Right, Shry, well done getting third position today. How was it? And obviously you opted for a different strategy, like because you boxed twice. So I mean, it worked out. You did get a podium. You will have felt more comfortable on track, but with the pedigree of driver in here now, that's just a learning experience. If they don't, then maybe don't. I don't know. I mean, I'm not on. I'm just a
I also
commentator.
think the gaps didn't close up as much because they had it was like a 2-on-2, so like there was
Oh yeah,
they had
without a
someone to
doubt.
work with. So
Yeah, there was two
I
people
definitely
helping
made a
each other.
mistake pitting. So it is what it is. I was like, there's
Yeah.
no way they make it to the end, but they did. So, but Wingish got a
Well,
puncture, so
is that
or
what it
yeah,
was? We didn't see it.
yeah,
Wingish got a puncher. Right. All
yeah.
right. So now at least we know. Yeah, fair enough.
But good
So I
racing,
mean,
B
how was the
Tom,
race? How was the race
and
overall for you? I mean, did it feel good out
um,
there?
it was pretty good. I mean, I think it was definitely a one stop until that safety car came out. I mean, the safety car came out just a little bit
Yeah.
earlier than the one stop would have been great. But I think a one
Yeah.
stop was the right call, to be honest. Even if that safety car didn't come out. What do you
Right.
think, B
Definitely.
Tom? Do you think it's still a one stop even without the
Yeah.
safety car? Yeah, I agree. So
So I
No,
mean, you
no,
just
the
have to
end of
look
the
after the
day,
left
though.
rear, otherwise you're
yeah,
fine.
Next
we need
question, B
another
Tom.
2
If you
laps.
stop twice, and actually qualified, two stop would work though, right?
I mean, I probably would have done a one stop regardless, but had I qualified, I'd probably be up the road by like 10, 12 seconds.
Right, there you go from B Tom
I mean,
himself. I think
you
we
just
do
have to look at how much the
Chenzo.
gap to McCooley closed up in the last couple
I
laps.
was watching that and I
So
was thinking one more lap, one more
yeah,
lap. But yo, what a to watch. I mean, phenomenal driving. Chenzo gaining a hell of a lot of positions today as well. Brent, how the hell are you feeling? Yo,
Yeah, I'm great, man.
great, not sweaty at all.
I mean, to be fair, I went on that strategy, just kind of like rolling the dice. Me and Greg were very compromised because of our qualifying position, starting from the back. And then once that safety car came out, you know, as Shry mentioned, it was a little shorter than when the pit stop was supposed to be for the one-stop strategy. So Greg and I just kind of said, you know what, let's try and put mediums and pit once more later on and just see how that works out. Yeah, no, I mean, I had to force my way through there a couple times, but in the end, yeah, in the end I made it through. Unfortunately, it wasn't the same for Greg. He kind of got stuck in a train, so
And that's
yeah, it's
racing
just,
though, right?
yeah, that's racing.
I mean, don't forget, when you do different strategy, if another safety comes out, which it's unlikely, but if it does happen, then your strategy might have paid off a little bit better as well. So
Yeah,
it is racing, and this is why we do it. But yeah, anyone to add out, T-Bone, V-Tom? I mean,
um,
fantastic stuff. That's all I've
GG
got
to
to say.
Moikuli.
Well done, yeah. Congratulations to the winner and podium.
Yeah,
winners. In
GGs.
fact, anyone finishing that race today, all tight as you like, loved it. Unlucky for Wingish today though with that puncher, but other than that,
Look,
Save your
T-Bone, wrap this
tires.
up.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody, man. I've been a little under the weather this weekend, so thank you everyone who helped me set this up. Emerge, Greg, B Tom, Dogs for doing commentary, Jordan, Two Wavy, anyone who's kind of helped out through the last week, MacT. And next week we're going to start it in Australia. I appreciate everyone. It's been the Lightning Cup. Shout out to Chenzo. Shout out to Greg making their way over here. So happy to have them. B Tom
Thanks for
looks to
having
defend
us.
his title. I took your dogs. He's gonna keep
Dog bless.
barking, doing his thing. Dog bless.
I
Any
will
final
be,
comments from Chenzo, B Tom, Dogs?
I'm good.
Just GG's to everyone, and thanks to you guys for, you know, doing the commentary on the race. Love you guys.
Love you too, bruh. Right,
Hey.
done.
Alright, Dogs, say
No more
whatever you
starting
say.
from the back.
Dog, good night, dog bless. Let's do this. Just end the
Dog
stream,
bone
bruh.
out. B Tom's not
Dog
starting
and
from the
bone
back
out.
anymore, guys.
Dog and
You're all
bone
screwed.
out. Let's go.
Alright, guys. I'll see you later.